Hello, good evening. Welcome to Truth in Bikinis, and I have here with me, you're welcome.
Good evening.
So
Thank you very
today,
much, Ahmed Young.
you're welcome. So today we'll be talking about gender roles, and then the subtopic there is, should men be stay-at-home husbands? We've known that we know of stay-at-home wives. We have women who just stay at home. The one that stay at home, they work from home, and then the one that just wife, let's just say housewives, they stay and take care of the kids. So we are just so used to women staying at home, being stay-at-home wives. So now we're talking about gender roles. Can the table turn? Can we have stay-at-home husbands while the wives are working? Is this something the society can smile at? And if it happens to be that way, how will it even look like? What would the picture look like? We having a stay-at-home husband who stays with the children, changing diapers, and so on and so forth. And then the wife is working, let's say maybe 8 to 5 p.m., and so on and so forth. Then we have the husband just there. So we want to know, Emma, what do you think about men being stay at home husbands? What do you think? Okay.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So I do not well, the way I see it, I think that one of the things that is wrong with the way most of us have been brought up is the fact that there had been a lot of demarcation in terms of roles according to gender. And I think this kind of has made a mess of all of the, or made a mess of relationships mostly, because I think most men are being trained to provide, which is not a bad thing, while the women were trained to be home keepers, yeah, caregivers, home keepers. Women were trained to be that, while men were trained to provide. Now, the downside of that is the fact that women do not have a grasp of their finances. Women do not know how to dream big. Most women don't really have big visions for life. They don't know how to dream big. We don't know how to just grow above the this ceiling that's been put on women, like, oh, your education ends in the kitchen. That's the downside of all of this. And then we have that men do not even know how to take care of the home. Basic survival skills like washing plates, cleaning the house, washing your own clothes, basic survival skills, taking care of your children. Recently there was a post, a guy came out on Facebook and was like, oh, if you have a man who takes care of the children, who what else did he say? Who maybe cleans the house, or who helps you with the kitchen chores, you ought to be grateful. And women just came out and lashed at him and all of that. Everybody was just giving their opinions. And I sat back and looked at it and I realized that, well, look how we failed. Look how our parents failed us. I feel like it's a failure in parenting. If you ask me, I feel like when I think about it, this is a failure of parenting, because the idea that we shouldn't even be having the conversations where we say, oh, some should men stay at home. I think everybody should be ready to live life at the spot that life meets them, because there are men who lose their jobs and they don't even know how to just get out of it, because they don't know how to help their wives at home. They've never been people to know. They say men are ambitious, men are the go-getters and all of that. It's just the way they've been trained. So if a man loses his job now, he doesn't know how to stay at home. If he stays at home, he doesn't know how to help you in the house. He doesn't know how to help the children. He doesn't know how to help them with homework. He doesn't know how to even clean the house. He doesn't know how to help you with market chores. So you still get to do all of the work. So when we're asking ourselves, oh, should they be stay at home dads? I just feel like everybody should be able to live life at the point that life meets them. Sometimes maybe you lose your job, or sometimes maybe you get sick. You ought to be able to adapt to life at the point that you are per time. And of course, most men can't do that. I I I I really do not care if a man chooses to be a stay-at-home dad or he doesn't. I just feel like um I just actually feel like the idea that women are better naturals. You know, we had this argument the other time. The idea that women are better naturals than men is just a social or construct, or maybe a traditional thing, because that's the way they've been trained. It's not necessarily the truth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, that's just the whole idea. Being a stay-at-home dad isn't a bad thing at all, but it's just that most men, or let's say some men, aren't trained to being nurturers, because traditionally, from the very onset beginning, women were trained to nurture the home, take care of the home, and then the men were trained to, go out there to look for money for the family, to provide, to hustle. So now, when men are now given that position of being nurturers, it kind of becomes challenging. And like you said, now, yeah, there are ways where things can just happen unexpectedly without you planning. Let's say maybe, God forbid, you lost your job, you lose your job, and then you just have to stay at home for the meantime. And but I still believe that it takes some level of responsibility for a man who is at home to help and take care of the home. We have men who just believe, maybe as a result of the training, oh, that men aren't supposed to do something like this. They're not supposed to nurture. That is the work of the woman to stay at home. And then you see such people, they will just sit down in the house. The wife would be the one to go out there, return, and then they won't even touch something. I know a very close relative of mine that is a young man. He's married and has a child. He wouldn't even lift a pin. If the wife is in the kitchen doing everything, he just knows that men are to stay at home. So if the wife steps out, and most times he stay at home, he doesn't do anything because he believes, oh, he can only go out there, that he does things only when he steps out to work and earn money for the family. But when it comes to nurturing, sweeping, the man can stay in the house for 1 week without touching broom. So if the wife sweeps or not, it is none of his concern, but he just knows that men aren't wired to do so. So people just go about with that, will I say it's misconception, or just that thought that as men, you know, we are born providers. As men, we are born, hustlers. We aren't supposed to be in the kitchen. Oh, what would the society speak of me? What will my friends say if they come back and then they see me cooking for the family? They see me changing diapers, they see me sweeping. So some of them, they just go about with that idea. And that's why you see a whole lot of them acting the way they act. So it's very bad for men to be in a position of assisting their wives and then they aren't. And then I think that there is nothing wrong with men being a stay-at-home dad if the wife if the wife is busy and then it calls for that. If you as a man, you have the ability to stay at home, or maybe you're working from home. There are men who have remote jobs. They work from home. Staying at home, that is not a big deal. Just the same thing with women. It's just the way we are trained. If men are trained to help, they won't even see it as a big deal. But most men who see this stay at home that as a very big deal are let's say most times these men that they grew up having this kind of patriarchal system mentality, as a man. So as a man, we are supposed to be here, and then the woman here. So imagine now the man that is here now, you're now telling that man to bend down and mop, to bend down and cook, bend down and sit there, and then the wife is working. So the wife is not seeing me as the woman now. So it's all those mentality that is now making it look like it's a big deal. We have men who are doing those things. We have men who are staying at home. They're taking care of the kids. In fact, for men to stay at home with the children isn't a big deal, because you're even creating bonding. You're bonding very well with the children. Okay, women naturally, they bond with the children, the mother and children relationship. But a father, that period they stay at home is a time when they can bond very well with the children. It's a time when there is this there is this relationship between father and children. There is how it is. So to me, I don't think it's a bad thing. Parents, fathers can be stay-at-home husbands. They can be stay-at-home fathers, stay-at-home husband without it becoming a big deal. But I know that to some extent they might see it as challenges. And do you think there are challenges that comes forth with men staying at home, like being stay at home husbands or stay at home fathers? Do you think there are challenges these men face, men who are already stay at home fathers? Because we have men that are stay at home fathers, we have men that are stay at home husbands. Do you think there are challenges these people face? Okay, let me hear from you. Amen. Can you hear me?
Your voice is quite low, but I'm trying to get what you said. That's challenges that come from men staying at home.
Yes, you know there are men who stay at home. They have stay at home husbands and stay at home fathers. Do you think there are challenges these people face as like them being stay at home fathers or husbands? Do you think there are challenges they face?
Well, I don't know. The old men stay at home thing is more of a modern concept because I'm sure most of those men have never seen their fathers like stay at home like that, you know. So the the challenge would be that, and then of course, women too never used to their father staying at home, except if you are staying at home, you are bringing money from somewhere so that the relationship can remain serviced. But if you are staying at home and you're not doing anything productive, now that's where the problem comes from. Yes, because I mean that's why even we need to encourage women to yes, you can be a full-time housewife if you like your choice, but be productive. So if a man chooses to stay at home, yeah, I hear of someone who stays at home, but I'm not sure what he does. But he's a full time influencer on Facebook, so maybe Facebook pays him, and so it's not like he's totally unproductive. So I think where the challenge would come in that relationship would be the fact that most of us are not used to that kind of setting, and so there could be that see finish thing, that factor of seeing finish the relationship, and it won't work, yeah. But like I said, if you actually stay at home, not because maybe it's a temporary arrangement, or if you're going to stay at home, maybe you're working from home, yeah, so that works, and there may not be much of a challenge there if you're working from home. But if you're not being if you're not being productive, you just stay at home, and then you're expected to take on the women, the chores that are meant for women, or meant for your wife, or meant for maybe, yeah, your wife, for instance. Chances are even you as the man would also feel a bit to be awkward for you if you're not used to that situation, and you too, your confidence, your self esteem can also take a hit. So I think all of this whole thing is just comes down to the fact that there's a way we are trained and there's a way we expect things to be because of the way we are raised. Yeah. So traditionally, there's a way things are, and I mean, it keeps being beaten into us that this is how it is, this is how it should be, and this is how it should remain. Nobody should try to change it. And so it's kind of a difficult situation for one to find himself, or for a man, for instance, to find himself in a place where he's not working and he stays at home and he's responsible for taking care of the children, while the wife is the one that works and probably goes to get money and then responsible for the finances. It's kind of an awkward situation, yeah, because that's not our default setting here in Africa, Nigeria. I mean, we didn't grow like that. So, but I think there comes the part where the both parties understand themselves. Okay, so if it's a setting that you both are buying into for your family's sake, if it's a setting that actually serves that relationship, then you both understand yourselves. And so the factor of maybe taking another person for granted because they are doing, I kind of just feel like like I said before, this whole chores, these roles that came up is just a traditional thing, just something that we've been trained, just the way we've been trained, and it's not like it's set on stone, like it's cast on stone, like it cannot be changed. Like a man cannot learn to wash plates, like a man cannot go to the market. Like I mean, I've seen men who go to the market now. Yeah, I've seen men who go to the market and come back and cook, and their wives don't go into the kitchen. They come back, they cook, they go to the market, come back, cook, clean the house, take care of their babies. As in, it's not a big deal for them. But there are men who actually feel like those are lesser. It's beneath a man to be washing plates. It's beneath a man to be washing clothes. It's beneath a man to change diapers. And if you have someone like that, then you know exactly that that setting will not work for you people. So instead of you getting into that, just respect yourselves. Respect yourself and receive your odogu and give him the respect that is deserving of an odogu. Odogu cannot stay in the house and wash plate for you. Sorry, sir. Sorry. So I think everybody should actually find an arrangement that serves their relationship. Yeah, and I think understanding has a big part to play in it, because if you don't understand yourselves, if the man is maybe he's out of a job for a time, and he has to take on that role, just so that, okay, if my wife is doing this, I should do this. Because it just makes sense. Yeah, if my wife is if she's the one that fends for the family now, to take off the load from her, I should do this so that I can balance that equation. Because there's no reason why she should still go and then come back and then wash plates, wash clothes, change diaper, go and do school runs, do all manner, just because she's a woman. And you're not providing at that time, and you are not even bothering to help. So it's only sensible to actually take off that burden, but then it comes from a place of understanding, because they're the typical Nigerian man feels that those chores are beneath them. The typical Nigerian man, average Nigerian man, feels washing plates is beneath him, changing diapers is beneath him, going to the market is beneath him. The place of cooking for you to come and chop is totally underneath him. So that's typical. Yeah, but I mean, I think there over time a lot of people have grown away from that ideology, and are beginning to embrace a level of equity at home, and equality at home, and it can actually help their wives. Like, okay, my wife is tired, there's no reason why she should go into the kitchen. They help, they cook. Oh, my wife is tired, maybe I should watch the baby. Someone told me one time that when she gave birth, she now understood what it meant, like the real difference between a man and a woman, that a man can sleep through a baby. New babies cry a lot, that the husband would sleep through, would just would sleep through the night, like, this baby is crying, I need help. Guy was sleeping. The guy is sleeping. And so she too, from the frustration, she would join the baby and cry too, because why is it that it's only me that is doing this chore, and I think it's sad, it's bad, sad and terrible, that you can be partners and one side is taking all the load, and it's not necessarily easier. That a choice beneath a man doesn't make it any easy. Those chores are real time work. That's why these days there are debates about, okay, why don't you guys try staying at home so that you know what's the real job there? Because if you want us to go out and make money, if it's still we go run up. But try and stay at home so that you can appreciate what your wife does. Try and stay at home so that you can appreciate the cleaning up, the looking after the children, the running after them, the trying to keep up with all of those things, and still finding time to cook, finding time to serve everyone, finding time to do the dishes, finding time to wash clothes, and finding time to actually put the house in order. It's a lot of work. And saying that that's beneath because you're bringing in money, you probably don't have plenty understanding, because if you ever tried it for once, then you would appreciate what the other party goes through. So for me, I think it's just a matter of understanding, just a matter of understanding. if you understand yourselves, then you know exactly, okay, this is what we want to achieve with this, and you can do this. Because even your friends can even walk into the house and be like, guy, you did wash plates, how now, that kind of thing. And then the whole arrangement will just scatter me because how you dey wash plates, as a guy man wey you be, the whole arrangement can just scatter. You and your wife, you go just go tell your wife, say, oh, please, it's like this arrangement will not work, yeah, because that's traditional African Nigerian man for you. So it needs to come from a place of understanding. It needs to come from a place of love. It needs to come from a place of service. Yeah. It needs to come from a place of understanding, most importantly. You understand what you're trying to achieve, and people can work at it. Me, I no send. For me, I know to send. Like, if you like, if you don't like, I kind of feel like when life just serves you at certain points and you should rise to it. And I think every gender should learn that it's so unfortunate that we were trained a certain way. Like, women serve, men bring money, and women now, just die on top house chores and never ever want to like reach out or do bigger stuff. It's rather unfortunate, and I think that training was wrong, and this generation should do better. Thank you.
It's okay. Thank you so much. And like you said, this thing needs some level of understanding because so men, washing plates, telling somebody to wash plates, it's a big deal to some extent. And I feel another thing some men just see as challenge is that maybe if they got married to a partner that isn't really, will I say, appreciative, and they decide to be stay-at-home husbands. So now their wife might just use that now or see that as okay, this is what you are stay at home now. So you are supposed to do this, do that. So they now use that as an avenue not to do anything again at home. So they expect the husband to make sure before they return, at least before they return. We have ladies that are like that too, women. We have wives that are like that. They said, okay, since you're not really doing anything or you are at home, at least you should be able to take care of the cooking, take care of washing, take care of mopping, take care of the kids, at least put them to sleep, make sure they eat. So I think some of these things sometimes men they fear that, oh, if I want to now start doing this thing now, my wife might just use the opportunity to now be the one ordering me around. And
You know what? I saw a video recently of a man. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you. I'm saying this because of what you're saying. Like, the wife would now look. It will now look as if the wife is being ungrateful or taking advantage. But I saw a video of a man recently cleaning up his house, and he was explaining why he was doing that. Cleans up the house, takes care of the children, feeds them. Like, if he arranges the food exactly the way the wife would, like, he takes care of the children, and he was making the daughter's hair, he was doing all of those stuff. And then he said something. He said he does this because he doesn't want the wife to be, do you know how it feels when you have children and you have to leave them with your husband. There are women who can't leave their children with their husbands because everything go spoil before you come. Oh my god. The thing will so spoil, and you will not be able to explain how the thing spoiled. Oh.
everything will be
I mean,
upside
it's
down.
there, but you will see the thing spoiling. You go just come back, come see say maybe one person don't bust eye, or some things will just go wrong. And this man was saying that he doesn't want his wife to have to carry that burden of worrying about his children when she's out. That means she can have peace of mind. She can decide to take a break. And that's why women don't take a break from all of these things, because you can't even trust your own husband to take care of your children. Like, before you, they will even put fire for house before you get back. And it was, I mean, I was really impressed to see. It was cool for me because, like, takes care of the house, cleans up the house, fixes the food, and you are sure that he's giving the children the right thing. There are men that once you leave the house, biscuits and soda go full everywhere. They give the children enough of, even when they know that those things are not really the best, but they can't even do anything extra for the children. So it's easier for them to go buy soda. But this guy put the vegetables, put the everything was intact. Like then he served them, and then he did a video. Was making the daughter's hair, and it was super impressive and cool for me to see that there are men who actually think like that. And it's, I mean, it's a good thing. And the idea that, oh, my wife is going to now want to relax or now take advantage of that situation, it doesn't make any sense, because you are doing it for yourself as you're doing it for her. Like, you're not just doing it for her, you're doing it for yourself as well. So there's no place where anybody takes advantage of anybody. She doesn't even think that, oh, my husband is going to. No, she doesn't think that. She just does it because this is a good thing to do, and this is how it should be done, and I'm available to do it, so I get it done. I mean, it's that simple. So why should it be a big deal if the other person is taking care of it? It really shouldn't be a big deal if you ask me.
If I only want to place this in a scale, you will really realize that 70% of men see this as a big deal. It's just the 30% who I think maybe might have been trained to some level. The parents train them. They are the ones that wouldn't really see this as a big deal. But 70% of Nigerian men see staying at home and assisting with the wife, the kids as very big deal. 70, if not 80%. And like I said earlier, this thing just needs understanding from both partners. It just needs some level of understanding. Okay, me, I'm the kind of person that if I am in the kitchen, if someone is around, I just don't like it when someone is just sitting down idle. At least just try and do, even if it's just pound pepper. But you just allowing someone, you're in the sitting room crossing your leg, and this other one is the one falling up, fainting. No, how about, it's bad to some extent. It's very bad. So, but I think some men just feel that some women will just use this as, will take advantage of the fact that they are actually helping out. And well, we have people who still take advantage of that. We have women who take advantage of some things like that. But I think it's just very few women, because you see someone who is at least assisting at the home, not allowing you stand up and falling and portraying all the, or carrying all the home whole load on your head. So if you see someone who is actually helping, I don't think a responsible woman will want to take advantage. At least if you come back, appreciate your husband very well, and then also, assist with what you know you can do. Don't just leave the job there and say, okay, fine, my husband is a stay at home. Because it's not just the men. I'm still talking to us women. Don't just say, okay, because my husband is a stay at home husband, and because of that, I'm the one that is doing the out job there, so he should be the one to take care of everything. No, if you are now leaving everything, now that man is going out there, people are telling him things, he has friends. Because sometimes the kind of friends people have can just spoil things for them. The friends can tell him, oh, you dey house, you don't turn boy boy now, your wife dey carry you do like this. And when he now looks at what they are saying matches with what you're doing, the man can just change all of a sudden, and what you are seeing, you won't see it again. So I just think all this thing needs understanding. And then to the husband, you don't need to just pay attention to whatever anyone is saying. It is not a big deal to assist your wife. It's not a big deal to help the children. They are your kids. It is your home. So it's not a big deal to see something that is up like this and you place it very well. It is not a big deal at all. So it's just that most of us are just making big deal out of very small thing. So anyone can be a stay at home. Anybody can help anything. There is no one that is just too big. That is just too big to do anything. Anybody can do anything. Be it the husband, be it the wife. Now the world is revolved. Everything is turning. Women can work. They can hustle. They are working in some male dominated areas. Some careers that we know fully well that it's men are the one really doing it. Women are doing it. So we have, the world is not just as it was. It's not the primitive lifestyle where we have men as hunters, men as this, and then the women are there in the kitchen. Everything is changing. We have women working. So men can as well be a stay at home, not just you staying at home without doing anything. stay at home and do something, then your wife also. So it's just some level of understanding, and it takes two understanding people and responsible people to run this thing without the third party even knowing what is going on. So um to end this, okay, Emma, I would like to ask, do you have any advice, anything you just want to say, because we'll be concluding this session very soon? Is there anything you want to say, any advice you just want to give, your last word to them? Let me get.
Advice for anybody. Let everybody do what works for them. Yeah, I think let everyone do what works for them. And if you know that you have mistakenly married Odogu, like I said, if mistake by mistake you don't enter Odogu hand, just behave yourself and do the chores. Like, because how you negotiating come and wash plates, eh? And then maybe Odogu senior you like 10 years. Well, better wash that plate and behave yourself so that the thing will not cause wahala. But seriously, like, I think everybody should do what works for them. Sorry. Everybody should actually do what works for them. At this point, maybe at the point where you are finally in the home together, you already understand yourselves. So there are certain discussions that may not completely work. It may be working for other people. I know a man who cooks for his wife, who does all the cooking. Like he cooks like 3 pots. In fact, one of my former boss used to do the same thing. He's the one who goes to the market. The wife is a banker. He's the one that is more available. Like, because that's what I think. If you are the one that is more available, there's no reason why your wife who works in the bank till 8 p.m. should still come back and have to go to the market. So this guy is the one who is more available. So because of the kind of business he does, so he goes to the market, buys all of those things, and then he cooks the soup in bulk, like cook plenty soup and stocks in the freezer, cook soup and cook stew. I mean, I think I know at least 3 or 4 men that do that without stress. So it's not even a big deal. It's just a matter of understanding. I'm more available. My wife is not. Simple. She can do this. I can do this one. I can change. What is there to change that? But it's not like it's a thing that women came from heaven with. Like they didn't bet these women and teach them how to cook. They didn't bet, as in they don't come from heaven with the idea of how to cook. Do you understand? So that means that anybody can learn it. It's just this egotistic disposition that just tells Nigerian men, African men that I'm too big for this thing. It's not true. You're not too big for anything. If a woman can do it, you can also do it. So I think it's a matter of if you're more available, and then it's a matter of do we understand each other, like we understand one another. I can do this. Why? And I think it's generally about love too. Love also plays a huge part in that, because if you have that love and consideration for one another, you know that okay, let me do this so that she doesn't have to come back and worry about this. Because women do it every day. Women bend over backwards for men every single day without any conditions. So it's not a big deal at all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And then I'll also say, train your children the modern way. Don't let any gender feel like they are bigger than the other. Just train your children equally so that when they grow up, they wouldn't be I be oga at the top and then I be small madam. Just train your children equally, because what we are trying to do is just to reshape everything. We're trying to make the world better, and then we are the ones that can make the world better because it starts from us. If our parents actually reshaped what they wanted and then it results to what it is now, we are the one now to make a change. So we start with ourselves, change everything, and then when you're getting married, marry someone that matches your energy, what you want. Go for a responsible man that loves and understands you. You see the word understanding. Not everyone is gifted with that. Go for the one that is gifted with understanding, and you to understand someone. It should not just be from one side. Two sides, two good heads make something perfect. So with this, I would say that we've come to the end of today's session, and I would love you to drop your opinion in the comment section, like, share, and then see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much, Thank you.
Bye
Goodbye.
bye. Thank you.